and welcome to Downtime Activities. Welcome to a live play of the Metroville system. We've done a review of the Metroville system. I got to interview Tyler, the creator of the Metroville system. So if you have questions about it, please take a look at those videos from before this. The quick basic rundown, it is a superhero RPG. It is a kind of rules light overall. It's a lot about creativity and storytelling. It's awesome. If you want more breakdown, check those videos out. My 4 players here today, we're going to be kind of continuing a game we started before. I'll get everyone caught up real quick on kind of the story thus far, where we're at, and then I'll let all of them introduce themselves and their characters. So, in our Metroville story, we have 4 less than ideal heroes. To call them the B team would be kind of friendly. They're the other team, so they're technically the B team. They're in a city called Metroville, funny enough. And in the city of Metroville, there is a team of superheroes who always keeps it safe that has been sent off on a mission and is taking longer than expected. So these 4 were kind of gathered from their mom's basements, spaceships under bridges, penitentiaries, office. One of them kind of belongs for this organization, but we'll let him explain that. To this kind of HQ for superhero-related business, run by a somewhat mysterious robot in a suit named Mr. Q. And he is sent them on a couple missions so far, and we last ended with them going to investigate strange animal sightings that ended up being a supervillain mind-controlling a bunch of zoo animals and sending them out to cause carnage. Things ensued, and we're going to kind of pick up right where that left off. But first, a introduction. Who you are, who you're playing from the table. We'll go Sklur to Will.
I'm Sklur. That means I go first. I am playing Dennis Samuels. He is just a dude. He's an old dude. He's kind of grumpy. And he has the major power of alter reality. So you can create things out of things and create... Well, I guess you can't create things out of nothing, but he can create matter out of matter. Manipulate matter.
Transmute, kind of.
Yes. He also has the minor power of invisibility, which isn't used as much, but you never know.
And he works for the organization, the superhero organization.
I do work. I'm like the seasoned hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm older, so I've been around a long time and have been entrusted with a team.
The other team.
Of useless kids, except for the big guy.
There you go. Next up, a useless kid.
Yeah! My name is Jocelyn, and I will be playing Winston Chapelfield. Now, this guy, he's a super cool dude. He's a psychic. But he also lives in his mom's basement.
She lives in a basement.
Just a little trough.
Just a little trough. He lives in the basement in a peanut butter fort. He is the coolest kid on the block. He's also in middle school / like going into high school areas.
So it's not weird that he lives with his mom.
Right. He's not like an old dude living with his parents. He's just
a kid.
He's just a kid who's probably going to grow into an old dude that lives in his parents' basement.
Exactly. That's the vibe we're going for today.
Mm-hmm.
He is a psychic. He can read minds. He can use his telekinesis powers to move things, and he can create force fields. Super smart. This guy has like super smart stuff. He gets panic attacks though, so he's kind of useless just a little bit. He gets very anxious and he needs an inhaler. So anyway,
the asthma's real.
The asthma is a little real. Anyway, that is Winston. I'm gonna give it to Matt G.
Yeah. So I'm Matt, the other one, and I'm playing the alien superhero Toyota Corolla. Please don't sue us.
Not sponsored.
He is very strong and fast, and he can fly, which is pretty rad. He can also regenerate very quickly, so if he gets injured, he can heal that damage very quickly. He was living in his spaceship under a bridge when he came to Earth, he was like, what's the nearest human name that I can adopt to fit into the culture?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he saw was a Toyota Corolla, and he decided that was a perfectly logical human name. He's a big gray alien man that punches things real good. And he is addicted to sugar. That is a statistical thing that he has for things and reasons.
Because there wasn't sugar on whatever planet he comes
Exactly.
from, and now
Glucose
he's like,
was
wow,
not a thing.
candy.
He's like, this is pretty rad. So he's a big old goofball. He doesn't quite understand what all these silly humans do, and they are so fragile. But he does his best to be a stand-up giant gray alien.
Mm-hmm. And last but certainly not least, or arguably not least,
I'll make a case for it. I don't know if I'll convince anybody. I'm Will, and I'm playing Jesse York, who is a former military officer turned failed super soldier experiment. My two major powers are duplication, so I can make clones of myself, and shapeshift into people, which I just felt like was a fun combination.
basically he could be anyone, and he probably is everyone.
Yeah.
And any number of anyones and everyone's.
And he's also just got other stuff that I felt like kind of made sense for a super soldier program, like heat vision, night vision, X-ray vision, stuff like that. He does have a criminal record. He was in a military lockup before being before being sort of loaned to the superhero organization. He is a mute, which makes him a better soldier or a worse soldier, at least a worse infiltrator. And I'm somehow attempting to be snarky and sarcastic without saying anything. I feel like I'm kind of more of a utility for the party because I'm a little less superpower based and a little more kind of skill set based. But
We'll see if that saves you.
I'm doing all right so far.
We made it this far. So, as I said last time, the story ended as the perp in question, a both human and animal mind controlling supervillain that you never learned the name of, has been shot to the point of death.
He got shot, but
he was shot and then bricked in the head.
Yeah.
Hit in the head with a brick, unconscious, bleeding, in pretty bad way. This isn't exactly immediately after that. This is shortly after that. This perp has been captured or brought into custody by the kind of local authorities, aided by the superhero organization. And you guys are done for the night. You are a little ways away. Everyone now lives, instead of with their parents or under bridges or in jail cells, all lives in this kind of tower that the superhero organization operates out of. They have kind of small rooms there. And so you are welcome to all head back to your home, your new home. It's pretty late at night at this point, and no one's going to offer you a ride because you have your own...
we have a truck.
You have a truck. The best superhero mobile they were able to find for you was just a police truck, and an old police truck at that. But it's gotten you through a lot. It's helped you chase a rocket train.
It's like a little two-door police truck, too.
Yeah,
right?
it's a little two-door. It's like a bench seat with the kind of leader of the group driving, you in the passenger seat.
Well, I drive because I'm driving.
Oh yeah, you're the
He's
driver.
the driver.
You in the passenger seat. You in the little middle seat in between because you're the Jocelyn in the little middle seat, or should I say Winston in the little middle seat, and then of course Toyota Corolla in the bed because that's where he fits.
Although technically I could just fly, but
you could. It's much funnier sitting.
Yeah, it's much
With
fun.
the window cracks, so they can talk back and forth to you. So, end of this mission, you guys were successful. The animals that you guys helped round up were some of the more dangerous ones. The other stuff is penguins running around pecking people. They're able to kind of corral them. And it seems like after this person is unconscious and dealt with, that the animals kind of come back to being just normal zoo animals and are much easier to corral, much less aggressive. You guys are driving back to the tower. I think that an award probably needs to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Something else to mention is you are kind of probably clutching your back right now from when you decided to try and go invisible, but then your friend got mind controlled and shot you.
Right.
None of his own volition, of course, but take it away.
McDonald's.
Shut up. Every one of you. It's time for the teammate of the mission award. Hold your applause. I create another trophy.
An ongoing joke.
This it's got a little like lion on top.
Ooh.
It's like, it's themed. It's thought into this.
Does it have a penguin getting thrown at it?
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's like a lion, arc like this with a penguin in the side of it.
I just want to let everyone know I did.
All right. Anybody got a guess? Anybody think? Who's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna
It's
win?
always me.
You think it's you? What's your guess, kid?
I think maybe Toyota Corolla.
Toyota Corolla, you think? What about the smart man? You know what? You shot me earlier. But you're smart enough. I'm gonna give you a pass. So the award here goes to me. I win it again because I'm the one who knocked out the bad guy. So
That is fair.
congratulations, me. I'm proud of myself.
R.I.P. headphone user.
Sorry.
See, we can use a limiter later.
Huh?
A limiter on
Sure.
Unix.
My
I'm
power
trying to
cannot be
impress the
limited.
audience.
There is no limit. I have unlimited
With
power.
your knowledge and skills.
My knowledge and skills. That's all I have.
Okay.
I won the award. I'm proud of myself.
I think we all deserve milkshakes, especially me. I think I need 2 milkshakes.
All right. Let's go through McDonald's.
Can I have chicken?
John to McDonald's.
You know the city. You pull up to the nearest McDonald's or
McDonald's.
Metro
Can I get
Metro Burger.
Metro Burger, of course,
Of course.
with its lovable clown with blue hair and blue nose mascot, and the
20-piece chicken nugget.
blue zigzags for Metroville instead of the M of McDonald's. Of course,
Yeah,
Metro
I
Burger.
just realized somebody is gonna have to lean over me to order.
Because you're mute. That's true. So this police truck pulls up to in the middle of the night to the night shift of Metro Burger, and you hear there's a moment before anyone comes because they're probably not really paying attention. All of a sudden, you hear "Hi, can I take your order, officer, sir?"
Oh, me, I guess. Yeah, that's that guy. Can't
So you're gonna lean over both of them
Yeah.
to the window. Okay.
Yeah. I need 2 milkshakes for a really big guy, and you have Scotch whiskey.
We have apple juice.
Is it fermented?
We can see if there's an old container in the back, but it probably won't be alcoholic, just gross.
Okay. Well, make it 3.
3 milkshakes?
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, that'll be 7:35 at the next window.
I create money. You don't know that.
You can definitely afford that, but if you want to,
I create $7.
you can, fair enough. You turn something else into money. So, pulling up the window, there's your classic night shift dude who you can't tell if he's high or just really, really tired, and that's why his eyes are so bloodshot. But he kind of you pull up and he gives you very much the look of someone either he is high and he's clearly I'm tripping right now, or he's I'm not high. Am I tripping right now? What's going on? And he sees this truck pull up and sees the back of your head up over the top of it, and he's takes the money from you and slowly he hands you a drink container with 3 milkshakes in it. Thank you for shopping at Metro Burger, home of the Metro Burger.
I take 2 of them. I give them to the big guy.
So he sees a giant gray hand reach through and grab 2 of the milkshakes.
With the one hand grabs
One
both
hand, right.
milkshakes, of course.
And I double fist my trophy. And milkshake.
Just don't slip off the wrong one.
Alright, let's go. Let's go home.
Okay, the truck drives off.
Oh,
And so, as you drive away, and this guy is still sitting there kind of slowly waving, and the truck pulls off to see the green or the giant gray alien in the back,
just like
flipping him the bird. As
I'm like flipping him the
both milkshakes in one hand, the other hand flips him off. Now would be a good time to explain why you're flipping him off.
So this was a joke from the unrecorded session, which was that my character doesn't understand human mannerisms and like in his culture they don't use hand gestures. So he thinks one hand gesture is the same as another. He doesn't understand. So he thinks that flipping somebody the bird is the same as like a thumbs up, or it's like a greeting, or like a salutation, or a
wave, or a thumbs up, or
any general hand signal is just replaced with a middle finger because
it's the easiest one to remember.
It's the easiest one to remember. It's just the one that he learned first, and he doesn't understand the difference.
Probably someone flipping the bird out of the window of a Toyota Corolla.
Basically.
Do you give my gun back?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna change this from pistol question mark to just nothing.
Just erase. Alright.
I didn't get no chicken nuggets.
You didn't get no nuggets. The truck ride, unless there's anywhere else you're going or anything else you're doing, the truck ride goes fairly uneventfully. The milkshakes are
delicious.
Pretty good. You know, they're very sugary. They're very sugary. So you're all about it.
Yeah.
You're like maybe a little too sugary, but not bad. No, they're good. You pull back into the kind of police vehicle parking lot area and are able to go back to your penthouse living in your small cubicle apartment complex.
Is this mine like two beds shoved together? Like,
yeah, yours is the same size of room as both of theirs, but they just put two beds into it to try and make enough room for you to somewhat comfortably fit.
I'll buy Winston snacks from the vending machine
The one
using
that's
money
not
that I
smashed.
stole from the other vending machine.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Good guy. Good guy.
I
Yeah, it was a rough night for everybody.
Yeah, it was everyone.
I know. I did a
Oh,
lot
rough
of
night
work.
for everybody. I got shot. That's what I'm saying. It's a rough night for
Humans
everybody.
are so fragile.
I got my
And you see the same lady that you've seen at this front desk every time you've come to this front desk, kind of like your classic secretary-looking lady, kind of honeycomb or a beehive style, big hair, kind of sharp, pointed-edged glasses, and she just she's sitting there. She's kind of clearly reading a book in one hand, the other hand's kind of sitting there off to the side, and she lazily looks up at all of you and just goes back to her book.
She's seen weirder, probably.
She works.
I am on a sugar high. I'm fucking bouncing around.
Everyone else who's not on a sugar high, you're going back to your... You have some... Dennis, as a more senior member, has his own kind of office-attached room. It's a little nicer. But you guys going back to your rooms? And
I'm going to the superhero gym.
Okay, there is definitely a superhero gym. There's like the kind of practice spar giant chamber that you guys had seen previously that doesn't have anything in it. There's also just very much like a fully kitted up gym that everything seems to be made out of very high quality materials or intentionally low quality materials that are easily replaceable.
I'm just gonna follow him and watch what he does.
Okay.
Fair
Make
enough.
sure he doesn't destroy anything.
Not intentionally. 'Cause
I'll wander around looking for an armory or something.
Okay.
I'd like to request another service rifle.
Well, I stole the first pistol.
Oh, I guess that is true.
You go ahead and just give me we'll call it a mind roll, just to kind of think of where logically an armory would be located, just to see how long it takes you to find this. No hard ones.
4 and above, right?
4 and above are successes.
2 successes.
2 successes. You're able to find the armory. There is...
I will not roll that well again.
There's like kind of a keypad on the outside of it. It clearly says armory above it. There's no guard posted here, but there's like a console. And you can see there's clearly like a retinal scanner, a thumbprint scanner, as well as like a console that things can be typed in.
Well, I have one of my talents is computer systems, so could I make a mind...
I'd say you can make a mind check to try and hack the system.
+1 for computer systems?
Yeah,
or?
okay, that. So it'll be 4 dice. It'll be a little harder than that finding the room.
None of these are Brody's cursed. No, there it is.
There it is. Yeah. Don't use no green and gold. It'll either roll a 1 or a 6. That's all you need to know.
2.
2 successes. You try to get in. It seems like you're not able to. Seems like you don't like trip any alarms or anything like that. But it seems like you're kind of like I think I can hack the console piece of this and put, like, I can figure out a way to get around the password it requires, but it seems like it also requires either the fingerprint or the retinal scanner as well.
Who would have access to this that I've seen?
It has hands.
Well, exactly. It's like, the robot guy could probably get in here, but he doesn't have a thumbprint and a retina. Probably.
Allegedly.
I think the secretary would have access
To the armory?
I don't know.
What are you going to try and do? What you going to do?
I bet he would have access to the armory. And I've spent more time with him. So let's give that one a try. That's a mind. That would be a mind check again.
That's what your duplicate or your
Shapeshift
ability is. Mind? Okay. Go make a shapeshift check. Your mind and whatever your superhero modifier is. Just for like a brief rundown for people who don't know the system, it's a dice pool system, which means you are rolling a number of d6s, just 6-sided dice, relevant to your abilities and your powers, and 4 and above is a success. And then a certain number of successes is required depending on the difficulty of a situation.
That's just a 1, which will probably not be enough. I don't know if I'm...
We'll see what is his first familiarity.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing.
I mean, you did spend like an entire day with him. And you shot him.
I did shoot him.
I wouldn't say you're intimately knowledgeable of him, but you are definitely at least all surface level. Like you know what he looks like pretty well. Seen him quite a bit. As for you guys going to the gym. You're just going back to your office.
It looks like I would need...
Yeah, I go to be a grumpy old man and go drink in my office.
Okay, go there, and you have multiple different scotches to pick from at that point. No, not just bad apple juice.
Yeah, it looks like I would need 2.
Yeah. So you turn into someone, you kind of start to shift into someone that kind of looks like him, and then just revert back to yourself.
This ain't gonna work.
Okay.
Not today. Let's see. What does Toyota Corolla do? He probably just like tries to find like the heaviest shit that he can lift and just starts.
He's lifting a weightlifting machine.
Right.
So give me a body.
No, I'm not using my flight, so I don't get a +1.
And your flight's agility.
Are you gonna try?
So that is 2 successes.
You go to like grab either side of the weightlifting machine, and you're able to like get it up off the ground, but it's not like the pull it straight up over your head, the impressive you were looking for. You're like grab either side, and like excuse me, we're talking an entire weight rack with the weights on the side. So the fact that you can just kind of palm both sides and up and down again is pretty impressive. But it's you're like, I could have done better.
Fair enough.
You're like, wow, you just lifted an entire squat.
I'm gonna try to do the 5-pounder.
Go to like a 5-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
Give me a body.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. Roll 2.
Ah!
Oh.
Ah!
You kind of pick. It's like that. Like pick it up and it kind of like pulls down. You kind of like you're sitting there like it's 5 pounds. Anyone can lift 5 pounds, but you look pathetic trying. You're like kind of shaky getting it up in front of you. It's bad. It's very embarrassing.
I'm gonna.
And you kind of feel like a little bit of like a little bit of hard time breathing from straining so hard to get it there.
I'm gonna just fucking drop them and
'Kay.
cry a little bit and go to my room.
Aw. Poor little human.
Anyone else have any shenanigans for the night, or people going to bed?
I think I'm good with shenanigans.
I think you're very good with shenanigans, but are you done with shenanigans? That's the question. So everyone goes to your rooms. Nothing eventful happens apart from going to sleep unless you do something else. Going to sleep for the night.
Unless you don't sleep.
Unless you don't sleep. If you're someone who doesn't sleep, then you just
Is that the thing?
kind of bored.
Yeah, I have sleepless.
I don't.
I'm gonna sleep next to my Rubik's Cube.
Your Rubik's Cube, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My best friend.
The one that's not solvable because
Yeah.
2 of the colors are switched in the worst possible way.
I'm just
But
dreaming
there's-
about it.
Maybe you'll have another one sometime soon.
Should we explain that?
Alter reality works for changing the color of cubes on a Rubik's Cube to make it literally unable to be solved.
Just 1 or 2.
I had a Rubik's Cube, and this motherfucker right here, he
Not
changed
there.
it. He changed it, and now I
You don't
can't
know
solve it. And I'm pretty upset. So I'm gonna sleep with it until I can figure it out. Every night. Until I can figure this out.
Break it and rebuild it.
There you
That's true.
All right.
Maybe someday.
Early the next morning, each of you has a light that can flash in your room, and that's like the, shit's in the fan, trouble's afoot, we need to go fight crime light. That doesn't go on for anybody, but below each of those is a wall-mounted
Machine.
old school regular is a sniper rifle infantry. No, is a phone, like a old school landline phone that has normal buttons to push it. And in the morning, yours rings. Winston Chapelfield's rings.
Hello?
Yes, hello. You recognize the front desk lady. There's a Linda here to see you.
I'll be right down.
Hang on. You leave your room coming. You Naruto run down the hallway.
Where's that kid going in such a hurry?
As you get down, you see clearly your mother, Linda Chapelfield, who is sitting there with a kind of head-cocked smile on her face. It's just pretty early in the morning, probably 7 in the morning. And she is holding a bag that looks like one of those reusable grocery bags that people bring from home. That seems to be pretty full of stuff. And when she sees you, she immediately sets it down and comes over and just starts doting over you. Just my boy, you're there. Oh, it's good to see you. I was so worried. How's fighting crime going? And she kind of grabs your face and gives you a big hug, kisses you on the forehead at least 4 times.
Mom, chill out.
I was so worried. I saw the news. Were you involved in the whole Lions thing? Seems scary.
Yes, but it's okay. We're good.
I brought everything you asked. And she turns and goes and grabs a bag and opens it. Inside you can see a Nintendo Switch. You can see an inhaler with 2 refills of the medication for it. You can see an assortment of your favorite snacks, as well as 2 different Rubik's Cubes. One a traditional square one and one of your crazy, more involved each side instead of being a 3x3 squares, it's a polyhedral craziness sort of one that you've worked on for some time.
Thank you, Mom, for bringing this to me.
No problem. They taking good care of you here. They feeding you. You seem like you've lost weight. It's only been a day and you've already lost weight.
They're taking good care of me, Mom.
I'm going to stress.
Well, he did throw a pink one.
All right. Well, have fun fighting crime. Your father and I are very proud of you. And she gives you the bag, gives you another kiss on your forehead. Says, now give your mama a hug and a kiss on the cheek.
Mom, you're embarrassing. Okay.
What? It's embarrassing to love your mother? When did it become embarrassing to love your mother? Come on.
Okay.
Now, I have incredible hearing.
You do have incredible hearing.
Do I hear this?
So you were after your morning swig of scotch, of course.
Right, well,
you needed to wash that down with something, coffee, I assume.
Right.
And going to the downstairs break room, you heard someone some sort of injured animal or something howling from down the hallway, and you came to look. And so, kind of right as Winston sort of half-assed smooches his mom on the cheek, you round the corner and see it. And Winston, you stop looking back to see him, having seen who knows how much of this interaction.
Sorry, what's the last name again?
Chapelfield.
Not
Chapelfield.
Chapelfield. I almost said something else for some reason.
Well, I'll walk in and I'll be like, you must be Mrs. Chapelfield.
I am, and who are you?
It's a delight to meet you. My name's Mr. Samuels. I've been taking your son here under my wing.
My little boy, oh.
You got
your protege?
Listen, I'll tell you what.
Are you here now? You come walking around.
You have quite a son here, Mrs. Chapelfield.
Oh, I know. I'm so proud of my boy.
You should be.
Look at you, a superhero, getting a raving review from your boss and mentor.
Now, this has to be reflecting. This has to reflect his upbringing, obviously. Obviously has to reflect his upbringing. I mean, you have to have done a wonderful job. You must be a great mother.
Well, his father and I had our fair share of struggles when we were raising him up, but he's such a good boy at heart that we knew he would find his path eventually.
Oh, his father, you say?
I was so worried this is where it's going.
How's that? Tell me about that.
Oh, his father? Oh, a lovely man. He runs a burger joint. I help out when I can, but he's a hard-working man, and he takes care of his family, and you have to respect hard work.
There has to be there's a certain valiance for you being around a little bit more, right?
Well, our business is very close to our home, and it's very nice to have our kids raised up in a way that they see the results of hard work.
Well, listen, I understand hard work. I mean, I've been in the Superhero Association for 45 years. Okay, maybe not 45. I forgot how old I was. We'll say 30 years. So I understand that, but listen, I just wanted to give you a compliment for raising this fine young boy.
Well, thank you so much. Such a charming man you work with here. Another smooch on the cheek, just one for the road. Your mothers might not see you for a while, with you out saving the day.
What's wrong? What? Are you embarrassed? There's nothing embarrassing about loving your mother.
There's nothing embarrassing about loving your mother.
Right.
Fine.
And he gives you the little cheek kiss. Just like, all right, now be careful. Take care of my little boy. If you need a refill on your prescription, just call. I'll probably have one ready anyways.
I'll call you, Mom.
Doodles! And she turns and walks away.
What do you want, kid?
It's next to nothing that you feel on your
It's funny that you punch him and when you could probably throw him bodily
Right.
through a window and you're telekinesis.
I know. I'm just like.
It's too early for PvP. It's too early for PvP.
That's true.
Why'd you poke me?
All right.
I'm very much still asleep.
Okay.
My
Sugar crash. You're up to it.
My homeworld is a 32-hour cycle, and it's just a real bad.
It just keeps getting
It keeps getting worse.
a little bit further.
Well, you guys are definitely welcome to have some breakfast or whatever else you would normally do in the morning. At some point, you're each going to be kind of tracked down, whether it's by an operative or your phone's ringing in your collective rooms. And these are each individual saying that Mr. Q is requesting to see you at 1 p.m. today. That he has a mission briefing to give you, that there's something very important that he needs you to handle. And then they kind of say, well, he has something very important that needs to be handled, and you're who he has to handle it. He did say it that way. I want to convey his message clearly, because he seems like the kind of guy who I should convey a message clearly. Then this is the person talking.
Yes, well, yeah. Well, no, I imagine that somebody absolutely had to come and track me down wherever I was.
And probably asked a couple other people along the way just to be safe. So unless there's something else you want to do with your mornings and noons, 1 p.m., Mr. Q is expecting you in your office. In his office, not you.
I'm there.
Okay.
Do I actually go, or do I just send a clone?
I'm there and embarrassed.
Still.
I'll go myself.
Okay.
I won't send a clone.
Guys,
I'll just go myself.
I'll show up, and the door is closed and seems locked. Once all four of you are kind of milling about outside in whatever order you arrive, the door just opens on its own. And there's a big, wide, long mahogany desk with all sorts of papers and computers and gizmos and pieces of like superhero costumes and all sorts of stuff scattered across. Oh, like
This isn't a costume meeting, is it? Because I don't think I'm ready for a superhero costume.
this may or may not be. Who knows? Who knows what this is? You enter in, and sitting behind the desk is a robot in a suit. That same kind of like large iron bottom jaw up underneath, and Mr. Q is sitting there, very, as a robot would be, very straight up and straight looking right at you guys as you approach. Greetings.
Good morning.
The robot
The immediate good morning after it was really funny.
It is strange that my processors don't see that coming at this point. How is it always a surprise?
It's always a surprise to see you too, Mr. Q.
Anyway.
Doesn't quite make sense, but that's still alien.
You don't quite make sense. I mean, if don't quite make sense was an alien, he's going to look at you, Dennis, Winston, Toyota, Jesse. We believe we have narrowed down the position of our A-team. They were believed to be offshore. Hopefully not. Trackers are placed on all of our operatives. Theirs have gone off-grid. We do not know where they are. However,
we're both just like...
However, the tracker in the submarine that they took to the levels they were in the depths has resurfaced, and a ping has been found. From logs and extractable data from this submarine, we know that they were there to fight a large, Leviathan-like underwater creature. Sources unknown. Other information we found is apparently supercrime was afoot. There's a dramatic pause. And he says, Professor Megahertz is somehow involved in this whole situation. We do not know how. We do not know why. But whatever happened, they are nowhere to be found. We are sending you to track down the A-team, bring them back safe, and unravel the plot of Professor Megahertz.
Why is he called Professor Megahertz?
Because he is a professor, studied many years.
Yeah. What's his PhD in?
Fish ecology.
Fair enough.
Do you mean his power profile?
Yes. That.
He is known to, through the use of different devices, emit dangerous and powerful electric shocks.
Ah.
It hurts Mega.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to keep out the whole idea of whether he's a punchy man or not. That's generally what I haven't found a human that's very good at punching yet, but I just thought I'd keep my eye out.
I do canonically have a pen.
A pin. He just rips it off and hands it to people. You could have said, hey.
It's fun to write.
Let's read it for the class.
I kind of assumed somebody would. I just wrote, seems like he put the megahertz on the A-team.
Yeah.
Am I proud of myself?
Pun count
No.
1. I demand, since you started this, you as the person editing this video now has to put a pun counter 1 in very small text in the bottom corner of this video.
Okay.
Very important.
Moving on, he says, we have been able to procure for your travel a smaller, less quality submarine than was used for the A-team.
Of course.
Because they trust us more.
Yeah.
Incorrect. Our nice submarine is the one that's down at the bottom of the ocean, so we can't send that one. It seems only semi-functional.
Is this like coach as opposed to first class? Is that the general gist?
It's still a superhero submarine. It's just like
this is the
one that's like the 8-year-old model.
This is the 2-door police pickup truck equivalent of
the Batmobile.
of the Batboat.
He will turn and look specifically at Mr. Samuels, and he will say, Samuels, as you are well aware of the looks and powers of the A-team, it'll be you who I will expect to identify and help track down these individuals.
Yeah, I guess if anybody can recognize those scumbags, I can.
Is it because you're a scumbag?
Hopefully not. Good luck. Just kidding. Just kidding. He does not. Where is your issued firearm? You lost
I
a
never
firearm?
got issued one. The one that I had, I stole.
Oh, that's right. Redact. Okay. I will have someone track down a firearm for you, though hopefully it will not be necessary. Do you have a preference on make, caliber?
Oh no.
Yeah, just go crazy overboard with it.
3 RPG.
I was just thinking like a solid gold Desert Eagle or something.
Just flex on every supervillain we go to fight.
The sword from Halo.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Introduce sword.
Can I get a lightsaber? Since we're already ripping off a bunch of IPs, we can make Naldos.
You mean Metro Burger? Excuse me. The great blue zigzags. We all know the blue zigzags.
Welcome to Metro Burger, Happy Burger Farm. Let's
Hello, welcome to Metro Burger, home of the Metro Burger. Can you take your order? Achievable. I guess I could just literally go. and he says that. Oh, let's do this.
Are there any porters left in there?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like me to get you one?
Yes, I'm a little trapped.
And no one's getting back.
He says that your firearm will be in your room when you return. If anyone hears faint dinging or vibrating in the background,
Oh, now you've done it.
I can't believe you've done it. What did you do?
I don't know. I just heard a bunch of stuff in the fridge.
I am on call for the hospital I work at, so hopefully that doesn't ruin everything.
As per usual, we're recording.
Literally every time we're recording. I'm not on call that often. Just
But
every
you
time we
recall
record.
every time we record.
Mm-hmm. It's science at this point.
One.
Or conspiracy.
I'll do that. I'll do that at the table.
For the sake of the equipment, if it does go wrong.
Well, and also just for the sound.
Sound.
Yeah.
That's all I was
There
waiting
he
for.
is.
The explosion.
All right. He basically says that there will be a launch time of this afternoon, 6 p.m. You have 5 hours to gather your effects and be ready to go.
All right.
I am. Apart from the gun that I just requisitioned, I am wearing everything I own. So
I requisition a backpack.
Okay.
that's a good idea.
You can ask for a backpack, and they will give you a backpack. It's like the biggest backpack they have, which is still too small for you. And they hand you, they like clearly like it has the like
It has like
locking-
it
the
has
strap-
like strap extenders.
the
on
straps.
it.
It's like they've taken it all the way out, and they've like done the like lighter trick to melt the longer strap on. So it's like it's still comically small on your back. It just has very long straps so it can fit around your shoulders.
I fly down to the nearest like convenience store
Okay.
and just fill it up with like candy bars
Okay.
and pay for them.
Are you? You get a lot of. You have a ton of candy.
A ton of candy bars.
I'm just gonna.
I don't know how long we're gonna be gone for.
Yeah, you gotta come prepared.
I don't know a lot about Earth, but I do know that they don't have like
Candy bars underwater.
Yeah, candy bars underwater.
They don't go underwater.
Yeah, there's no like Clover or Phillips 98s or whatever underneath the
Whenever Mr. Samuels returns,
Mr. Shane.
you guys will be able to get on the
Yeah,
submarine.
well, we're waiting. We're waiting at the.
You guys are all at the
submarine.
submarine waiting for Mr. What?
Do I get a weapon?
Do you ask for a weapon?
Do you know how to
I
use
think
a
I'm-
weapon?
You're
You
14.
do not know how to use a gun, but
That's true. I do not.
you've probably never shot a gun. Maybe you went to the range with like your dad once, and
I
Never
could
again.
give her a crash course.
And never again.
I don't think Winston could handle the
Depends on the gun.
You don't think I can handle it?
couldn't handle the recoil.
I don't think we should be giving
If
the
we've
freshman
got like
a
an
gun.
hour before we leave, I will take Winston down to the shooting range to see if Winston
Thank you.
can actually
make an
fire
agility
a
check.
gun.
for me.
Oh God. Wait, what? 2 of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would normally give you disadvantage on this, but him helping will give you the advantage.
Oh.
Double sixes.
Double
Double sixes.
Wow.
I'm an excellent teacher.
Excellent. It's all your teaching, clearly. You do remarkably well for what you would expect of yourself.
Good job.
Yes.
I still take the gun away from Winston.
Okay, you don't trust me. Now less than ever, you trust Winston. Clearly, Winston knows which end to aim.
I appreciate the lessons to show this month.
You're talking about I'm in my room.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know, and he'll never believe you.
The minute you embarrass
I write Winston on the paper target and tape it to Winston's door.
There you go.
Okay.
So I like.
What a strange threat.
Not worth if no one else needs to requisition anything or do anything else prior to departure, you know the dock to drive your bad truck to board your not great submarine.
Yay!
Is this an upgrade? I don't know.
I mean, submarines.
This
are
is
much
the
more
old
impressive than-
the old 2-door truck of the sea.
I mean, I feel like most submarines are by definition pretty high. Like, there's not really like shitty submarine. Like,
Especially, this is a superhero submarine, so it's equipped with some pretty
I
high
think
tech
you would
technology.
also.
8 years ago.
I think you would also
Exactly.
be
It's just-
surprised
exactly. It's running Vista.
it has no Bluetooth.
by like
Yeah.
by like the technology level of
When
submarines
you
from
turn it on,
like.
it's like the PS2 where it's like
Yeah,
super
great.
loud.
It's a super loud GameCube animation as it's loading all its application. That application loading.
And we can't believe how long it takes, but back then they're like, man, this thing boots up so
Yeah,
fast.
exactly.
Man, these graphics are great.
Does anyone know how to drive a submarine?
Nope.
Is it kind of like a spaceship?
It's exactly like a
You know,
spaceship
good
but
old
underwater.
Man.
Nice. I think I can handle it.
I have driving a car written here, so I think.
I would say that between the two of you and your knowledge of just like the computer systems of the company you work for, functionally you think you could make it move
Nice.
around. If you wanted to try and like requisition somebody who's better at it, you could, but they will have to go underwater with you, and
they
that could
will
spell
not
their
come
name.
back alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can choose to let someone die in the ocean with you.
I'm going to try and pilot it like I would a spacecraft.
Okay.
With the advice of my human
We'll give you an agility check.
Okay.
It will be disadvantaged though. So
Disadvantage.
successes will be 5s and 6s, not 4 5s.
You trying to drive the submarine?
I'm hoping this goes kind of like
I have
first Independence Day, where they're naming the
trying to drive
spaceship,
the
and he
submarine?
like pushes
Yeah.
forward and it slams into the wall. He's like,
Do
so
I get
they
a plus
put it on
one
upside
because
down.
of my spacecraft?
You have like knowledge of piloting spacecraft.
Yeah.
I'll give you an additional die, but it still will have the because
Yeah,
you have disadvantage because you're using a different skill set for this, but you'll get the additional.
It's
die.
also submarines don't have a lot of space at the best of times,
Sure.
and you're like,
It is comical to see like it's literally like 3 hand cranks in front of him, but he's like kind of.
you're like an
He's
adult
like-
sitting in one of those
Like-
like the little plastic cars.
Mhm.
So only 5s and above?
Yep.
Shit, only one success.
You can functionally move this thing where you want it to. It's not pretty, and if you were doing so under duress, you think it'd be a bad time. But you can functionally be like, I want to go down. I will go down. And it's kind of like clunky, and you kind of take a second, but you're able to move it how you need to.
I don't think this guy should be driving.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who else is going to be driving?
I don't have my license yet.
I'm not legally allowed to drive.
There is like there's like a little blow spout that like reads back your alcohol. It shuts it down if you don't blow into it a non-buzzed alcohol level.
You think it's bad when your car turns off? Just wait till your submarine turns off.
underwater. So you guys have the
Wait a minute,
coordinates.
there's a user's manual here, and there's a whole page in here about not letting Samuels drive this submarine.
You guys, it is a superhero submarine, so it is like abnormally fast compared to your average submarine. And you know that you're like a good distance off the shore to get to this kind of last beacon of where this submarine was at, and you can get there. You think it'll take you probably about half a day to get there, and that's with like a super fast submarine. So it's a decent ways off the coastline here.
Good thing I brought all these candy bars.
I just kind of assume he like picks it up and throws it in a hole, and just like eats wrapper
Oh, yeah.
and all.
No, I take it out of the wrapper, but I absolutely eat them whole. or I'm the monster that like eats like the whole Kit Kat brick.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just takes out my
You animal.
It's fine. He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand the customs. Because clearly only an alien monster would do that.
Like,
We
not
need
enjoying the
to
false
introduce this guy to
cheese.
those giant pixie sticks.
Oh, yeah. That'll-
Just gonna give him a
that'll
giant
poorly.
pixie stick, so it'll be a.
Or a giant sour gummy worm, so you can be like that one dude on the internet who ate an entire giant sour gummy worm, like by only licking it was like the challenge. If you've not seen it, it's horrifying.
Oh, that
Five
sounds
pound,
like-
the 5 pound gummy bears would be
Yeah.
perfect because
That's true.
they would actually be 2 or 3 bites.
Oh, this poor guy.
Poor guy. All right, so it's a half a day's travel. What do you do to pass the time?
Drink. I sing alien sea shanties.
How do those go?
Badly.
Can you sing us one?
I assume they're
Uh,
going great, but I can't tell. I try and get more and more frustrated trying to solve whichever Rubik's Cube Winston isn't currently trying to solve.
Did you bring both of them with you?
I did bring all of my Rubik's cubes. I bring the one that he fucked.
That's probably the one that I'm
And I
trying
give
to...
that to him, and then I have the really
The super
adva-
crazy complicated one.
crazy complicated one, and I'm just like in the corner, just like doing that, and I'm just chilling. And you better not.
Are you actually saying that?
No, I'm thinking.
You're thinking it. Okay.
You can't read minds. That's it.
I can read minds, but he can't read minds. But like,
That's what you're thinking, though. You're not
Yeah.
saying it, though.
I'm not saying it because I'm not like that kind of guy.
I'm
a
shrivel
freshman.
from confrontation.
I'm a freshman in high school. In any confrontation, I will cry or pee my pants.
Or have an asthma attack.
Or have an asthma, or like
Panic
panic attacks, anxiety, asthma.
Nothing good.
So I will not stand up to this old man.
Old man
I'm
shame.
just curious.
No, I will not do anything.
Because if you were actually said that, my reaction would be different.
No, most of my I'm like, how fucking dare you? On the inside, on the outside, I'm just like, okay.
As you guys pull up to the last known coordinates, you are deep under the ocean at this point, like deep, out in middle of the ocean. And as you approach, you can see like signs of what was clearly a scuffle. We're saying there is also like 4 scuba suits for you guys. They seem like pretty advanced scuba suits. If you wanted to leave or had to leave at some point the submarine. Feel the need to specify that really quickly for some reason. As you're approaching up to this, like there's clearly a sign of like a pretty big scuffle here. Lots of like what's clearly like big swaths of the like rocky bottom that have been like broken, scorched in some spots, like busted. Seems like kind of some went down here definitely. You can see though, kind of carved into the rock, what looks like it's kind of so at the base level, this being the floor, it's kind of on a rock on the side, kind of caved down into the earth. There is a small tunnel, and you can kind of vaguely see something that looks like a strange blue glow coming out of this tunnel. You can also see just outside of this tunnel, kind of what looked like it was recently parked inside the tunnel, but kind of slowly teetered and fell out of the tunnel, the old submarine. And it looks like it's in pretty rough condition. It seems like it's still holding, it's still kind of water tight, but it's
Gouged.
It's pretty jacked up. And you don't see a sign of anything else.
Well, shoot a couple torpedoes down the hole like Luke did to the Death Star, and let's get out of here.
I'm gonna computer. Hail. What is the ship called? The other ship. Is no voice activation? I start poking around to see like the
You find there's like a
communications
communications range on. And it patches into the other ship. It seems like there's still power inside of it. And as you patch into it, it opens and it has like it displays a small version of your screen, which is like a camera. Like it's literally like your nose because you're like lean forward using this, so it's like very zoomed in on the very center of your face, and it opens into an empty submarine that looks like a newer version of yours. The 4 spots in yours that you had like the scuba suits, they're all missing. They're all gone.
Where's my scuba
And it
suit?
seems like it's just clearly sign of like some damage and stuff inside, and like some systems have been messed with. But again, there's no water inside of it.
Gotcha. Okay. It appears the A team has left the vehicle. I suggest we investigate.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant, big guy.
Oh.
You kind of hear like so it sounds like some creaking in the submarine.
Can I look at external cameras?
Sure. So there's like the kind of main displays is like you're looking in an open big, which also looks hilarious because you're all huddled up in this like big open thing, and you kind of go to some external cameras. There's a below mounted camera, above mounted camera, and a side mount camera mounted on each side. And you kind of go to like the side camera and you look side, you don't really see anything. You kind of like look forward, look back with one of them, and then as you kind of like you look forward, you don't see anything. You look back with the camera, and you can see something that looks like it's like pretty thick, kind of along the side of the submarine. And you switch to the bottom camera, and it's looking straight down the open maw of a very large sea-like creature. It has like that kind of multiple rows of serrated teeth. You can see like 2 tentacles that are going around either side, and just below the jaw, 2 sets of large crustacean claws. And you can kind of see you can't tell if it's getting closer or your submarine is getting closer. But the camera is slowly panning more and more into its mouth. Let's go ahead and roll to see the order of combat.
Something like that.
You can roll either agility or mind. And I will do the same for you.
Hopefully it's rolling its mind stat.
Yes.
Turns out it could roll either, and that wouldn't be great for it. It's not that smart, and it is very big. It is at least the size of your submarine, probably bigger.
4.
4? Who's the highest? 4? Anyone beat 4?
How do you expect I rolled?
I guess Toyota Corolla is actually like a good detective.
Okay.
He's not
I'm
useless.
fast.
Alright, so 4, 3 was you?
Yeah.
You love this big guy.
Yours was 2?
2.
2 successes?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And yours was 0 successes?
Nice.
Nice.
How many dice did you roll? Was it more than 1? Okay. So you got to you're still going before this because it rolled 1 die and got a 1 on that 1 die.
Nice.
So you are up first.
All right. Fire torpedoes.
This is not equipped with torpedoes. It seems like it's built to move quick. It does not have weapon systems.
Computer, fire torpedo.
What from a speed standpoint? How far is the throttle pushed right now?
You are kind of slowing your approach because you're approaching the floor of this, so it's at moving forward but at a low speed.
Okay. I'm going to try and. This is really bad considering I'm trying to do evasive maneuvers in the submarine that I can't really pilot. But we're gonna try evasive maneuvers. We're gonna try
to squeeze at it before it can clinch down on you. Go ahead and we'll make it an opposed roll.
Okay.
So you're going to get to use the exact same roll you just did, and it will use its body to resist.
Okay, and I'm at disadvantage.
You're still at disadvantage with that.
Oh! 3 success.
Reroll.
That was the only chance we had.
Yeah, we'll call reroll on this. I'm just going to make this a contested check where someone has to win.
That's a 1.
1.
So you're kind of like, and it kind of like jerks forward very briefly, and then kind of comes back, and then you see like a panel above you go, and kind of pinch in as this thing seems like it's tightening around you to not let you get away.
I'm going to say, everyone get into your suits, and I'm going to get into my scuba suit.
Okay, you run over to the scuba suit. So the moving and then the action of trying to steer this thing will be your 2 for this. So you're not in your scuba suit yet.
My scuba suit. Scuba suit.
What you doing?
I get my scuba suit on.
Okay, you go over to scuba suit, put it on.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Scuba suit.
Go over to scuba suit, put it on. What are you doing?
Make it a copy. Put it
All
in
right.
my scuba suit. Die.
All right. I'm with you, fellas. Get scuba suit.
In your scuba suit, put it on. All right. It is going to attempt to drag you down and start crushing the submarine. So it'll be its body again.
Ooh.
Do I get to? Is there like a contested?
There's no contest. It's seeing if it's strong enough to break the thing that it now has a hold of, and it pulls you down. It's starting to like kind of like, and you can see like there you can see little like indentations coming in of these teeth trying to crush the bottom of this submarine. Luckily, the hatch is on the top because it's a submarine. It doesn't seem to be able to break it, but it has firmly grabbed the submarine at this point. It's not going anywhere. Firmly grasp it. And at that, we will reset. So back to the top with you.
Okay. Are human vessels equipped with self-destruct sequences?
You didn't see a big red button that said self-destruct anywhere.
Humans.
Useless, aren't they?
It's just, I mean, it's like you didn't expect to encounter a giant monster. I really can't understand humans, but
You're using it for initiative.
You have an infinite
okay, I'm going to get us to the. I'm gonna head up to the airlock, and just.
You're putting your super suit on, or the super suit, your scuba suit on.
Yeah.
And you're moving up to the lock. Okay, everyone's in theirs now. Are you just popping it underwater?
I mean, we don't really have much of a choice, so yeah, I'll depressurize and then. I think it's like at a space airlock, so I'm like trying to like decompression the area and yada yada. So yeah.
So this seems like this system is not meant to open underwater.
Oh.
Believe it or not. So it will like there's like some resistance, so go ahead and give me a body check to open
That
it.
kind of ruins my plan.
Yeah.
So I get a 5 on
Push
this.
that airlock.
That is a 2 success.
Okay. You kind of resist you, but you pop it open and water starts rushing in, and it's quickly going to like pull you guys out of this thing. But that'll be you're going to kind of be pulled out the top of this out of the water, looking down at this monstrosity trying to crush your submarine. And next is you.
So we're kind of like.
You can pretty freely move up and swim out of the submarine at this point.
I do that.
Okay.
And is that?
That's like your movement will be swimming up out there. You get 2 actions per round plus your reaction if something relevant happens. What you can use that for.
I guess I go invisible.
Okay, so you swim up out of the top, invisible.
Yeah.
You up?
I start freaking out because I don't like water.
Okay. There's a lot of it here.
I don't like that. I got my scuba suit on. I'm gonna like follow this guy, and then he turns invisible, and then I freak out. I'm like, what am I gonna do? And then I'm just like, I think I'm just gonna go to the surface. I'm gonna swim away.
The surface is,
Very far away.
if we were following actual rules, you guys would be like getting crushed by pressure deaths right now. You are very low in the ocean.
You puny
Okay.
humans might.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna start swimming. I'm gonna go.
Okay, there's random direction or there is the tunnel.
There, I was following this guy. I guess the tunnel.
Okay, there's kind of a light emanating from that. You start swimming in that direction.
Yeah.
We'll say you kind of use both actions to move that way. Go and give me a body check, and you're going to make some progress no matter what, but how hard you're able to swim will determine if you're like able to really
Not
get there.
very good. Not very good. Not. No.
No, that's 1 success.
One
One.
success. You're making good progress. Like, you look like someone who knows how to swim. You're not like killing it, but you're swimming at a normal rate towards it.
I'm not dying.
You're not dying.
Yeah.
After that, you, sir.
Swim out and swim for the tunnel.
Okay. Go ahead and do this. Give me just a quick body check to see how effective you are swimming.
I can't roll. I mean,
This is a fact.
You're close.
You feel like you're like, God, I'm swimming slower than the nerdy kid is, but you're not unable to swim. You can still swim. You're just not like really making a bunch of headway quickly. I'm going to go ahead and roll a thing to see how well he realizes what's going on with him. So you're all outside of the ship, right? Mm-hmm. You can see like multiple eyes on different parts of this thing that each seem kind of like, it seems like just like some horrific monster where they took like 12 sea creatures and just like teleported it at the same time from 12 different places to one point. They all just got like transmogrified. And it seems like one of these eyes kind of like twists around and locks in on you.
Uh-oh.
And you see another tentacle like extend out of this thing towards you. And I'm going to need you to roll either agility or body. Your choice.
It's the same either way, unless I get to add my flight to it.
You do not. Dear God, good luck. 3
success.
Okay. Ty on an attack goes to the defender. So this thing wraps a tentacle around you and you kind of flex out, it pops out of it. What you do realize in this though is that these tentacles are like entirely layered on the outside with a crustacean-like shell. They're not like gooey or wet or like, they're not tentacly, they're like hard and kind of jagged at parts.
Is this thing a ribbit?
Partially. Can I make a ribbit check?
I'll say as a reaction, since you kind of felt that, you can use your action to go ahead and make a mind check to see if you can kind of decipher the nature of whatever that is.
Does my alien knowledge help me at all?
This is not an alien.
Oh!
One success.
One success. It seems like this, as far as you can tell, this is either a natural thing or something in between a natural and unnatural, like mechanical thing. Like there's definitely some life to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just armored, but it seems like part of the external of it is not like a natural piece of it. It is like stonework or armor work attached to it, maybe. You can't fully tell, but it's definitely not fully
it's definitely
a robot.
organic.
There is like a life essence to it. That's a real breathing creature. And with its second action, it will... 3 still. So you see it like kind of crunch down on the submarine a little bit more. It still has maintained its outer shell.
Hopefully, that's still under warranty.
You are up.
Okay.
Tried to grab you. Very nearly did.
Who all... Let's see. I don't know where you are. I've got these two. Does my flight work underwater?
It's not.
Damn. Then I guess I'm going to try and swim, and if I can grab anybody on the way, I will do so.
I will say, so if you use both your actions, like one to move, one to grab, I'll let you grab one and move your normal way you'd move. If you want to try and grab both, I'll let you do it, but it'll be the disadvantaged body check.
Okay. This one's lagging behind, so I'll try to grab him.
Okay, so just a body check to swim with both of you.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
it'd be pretty funny though if you grab both of them and you're like paddling with both of them in your hands. You're basically waterboarding them.
I'm
Two
definitely
successes.
gonna throw
2
it.
successes.
Yeah.
You're moving quickly. Not like superhero quick, but like this person's good at swimming quick.
it's almost like he's very strong.
Okay. That's you, and you also are able to grab him, and you were basically able to catch up and then some on Winston, and you're able to bring Jesse with you. You are up.
I guess I remain invisible and swim towards the cave with everybody else.
Yeah, go and just give me a body check.
Now, see if you're invisible underwater, does it look like just a bubble shaped like you?
Yeah. I think
There's
that
any air around you, so
just no successes.
It's like
You're
the
swimming
Halo
very slowly.
invisible
Very slowly. Yes. You're an old man. Your old arthritic bones are not really working great
Down here in the cold.
But you're able to start making progress. It's just very slow progress. With that, for what he looks like, there's still water in front and behind, so it's not like clearly a bubble there. But as he moves, you can kind of see some like bubbles form and like some swishing in the water that just doesn't have a source. So if you wanted to try and like trace him, you could try.
I don't really care.
After that,
That old guy can do what he wants.
Did he grab me?
No, you grabbed the other dude because he's slower.
No, you slow.
If you want to just keep swimming for the tunnel, it'd be the
I'm
body
gonna
check.
keep swimming for the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I have to do
Body check.
Body check.
No!
Making me roll dice in an RPG. Oh, there you go.
1 success.
1 success. Maintaining speed. You're doing good. You're
Nice.
swimming like a human who knows how to swim.
Yes.
And you're going to use both your actions basically this turn. So you're going to basically get right to the mouth of the cave. And getting to the mouth of the cave, that's what we're saying. You get to the mouth of the cave and you kind of look down into it. You can clearly see
Another tentacle muscle.
just its open mouth, and a little laser beam getting ready to fire.
ends of the same.
It's a U-shaped.
It's got a head on
I'm
both
just
ends.
gonna,
It's kind of like a cat dog.
It's just a cat dog situation.
Underwater.
But it's like
Leviathan.
a kraken on one side and just another kraken. It's kraken.
crack a lacking.
You get and you can look
No,
down
we
the
are not
mouth of this
cracking
cave.
lacking.
You are lacking no krakens. There is almost looks like a shimmering blue barrier that on the opposite side of which you can see the tunnel continues, although it looks like there's no water past that sheer barrier. Just in front of that, there's a large set of metal doors that seem to be open, that once were closed in front of that kind of blue shimmering shield. And you can also see what looks like, set in the roof above it, it looks like a giant sarcophagus underwater, and the lid is clearly on the floor. And it looks like the when I say a giant sarcophagus, I mean a opening large enough to like fit a kraken inside of it. That was like locked in a box, and then this dropped and it came out of that giant box.
I'm gonna guess there was some monologuing, and then the release the kraken.
You don't see any people or anything. Just like the tunnel continues after that.
I'm
And
gonna go.
This guy's gonna be so disappointed.
That's so you get up to the. You can see this first because you got to the mouth of the cave first.
Yeah,
This guy's gonna be so
I'm the
disappointed
first
that we
one,
missed his
baby.
monologue.
And
And we have no patience for a second monologue. I guess I'm just swimming.
Okay.
I just hold one.
Or trying.
There you go.
2 successes.
2 successes. So he kind of drags you forward, and you kind of get out of his grip. You swim, and you're able to swim. Since he kind of swam past, you're able to get right up. If you want, you can go through the barrier. You're able to swim all the way into the tunnel.
Sure.
It only goes in the length of this thing, which is
Probably
probably 20 feet, but
Yeah, I'll
Is he
touch
gonna
the blue
swim
barrier, and assuming I survive,
Yeah.
on the other side,
you
I'll
swim
just,
up, and you kind of, as you touch it, you like. It's almost like it pulls you through, and you tumble into
I
a dry
I
cave.
try and pull it out as like a combat roll, and like.
Give me agility.
Yeah.
See how good you do it. I'm hoping for a bad one. No ill effects.
3 successes.
You do a sweet ninja roll. You are a penitent man. If you know, you know.
Rolling
We're in a very good
great.
match. After that, it is Das Kraken. It will try and see if it notices anything else apart from the big thing up here. That is 3 successes.
There's
Okay.
3 successes.
It's going to use its 2 actions to one is it still thinks that this is food, so it's going to try and crush the submarine first.
If it manages to swallow this thing, it's probably gonna die. It
Yeah.
swallows a whole submarine.
It just continues to kind of bend in on the outside, but is not able to crush it completely. It is going to try and grab one of the 2 of you.
Try me.
Lucky day. So go and give me an opposed body with this again.
Oh wow!
No success.
No successes. So you kind of swim. You see him kind of swim ahead of you, and you kind of go, and you grab, and you feel a tentacle wrap around you. It doesn't hurt yet, but you feel firmly grasped.
Firmly grasp it.
At that, it's your turn.
Okay. I will try and break free of the tentacle.
Okay.
I want to be free.
One more time.
2 success.
Also 2 success.
All right. Tie goes to
so-
the defender.
But it already has you grappled, so it's going to get to. It
That's right.
still has you grabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can try and break out. You get 2 actions. I'll let you try and resist you again.
Instead of
Better.
trying to escape
4
from the
success.
tentacle, just rip the whole tentacle out.
5
Oh,
successes.
come on!
You remain.
I didn't watch him roll it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch him roll it.
He's cheating. He's cheating. Alright.
I'm rolling them all out in front of you.
I know. I just was looking over to the right when you actually rolled them.
I'm at a different location.
No, you're not.
That's the end of your turn. You're.
How much
You can
water
literally just turn around.
will you
Okay.
let me turn into ice?
How many successes can you roll at Alter Reality? How and where are you trying to do this? Are you trying to do this around the tentacle? Are you trying to do this around the creature? What are you trying to?
I'm gonna,
Look,
because I'm trying
This
to get
thing
him
is
free,
cool.
so I'm gonna do it around the tentacle. That
Okay.
it's grabbed.
A, you'll probably just burst out from the inside.
So
B, even if he does it, this thing's gonna get just super sick from the amount of sugar.
So go ahead and roll an Alter Reality.
So, Alter Reality, I know you explained this.
So which governing like attribute?
That's mind.
Mind. So you're gonna make a mind roll plus your superhero modifier.
Okay.
So is it a +1 or +2?
Plus 2, so
Plus
6.
So 6 dice.
Okay.
Nice.
You're very good at altering reality.
That is what I do.
And then however many of them are 4 or higher.
3.
3 successes.
Yeah.
Ice kind of encases around a long chunk of this tentacle, and you can see it kind of like some jagged pieces kind of seem to be like wrapping, or they're like armored shells. The water is around that and frozen solid. It doesn't. You don't think it will make it easier for him to escape the tentacle, but you think the tentacle will not be able to continue moving if he escapes. It's kind of frozen, and you see it's kind of like slowly the weight of the ice is actually probably make it raise up. It's kind of slowly freezing, so it's slowly rising in the water. You think that's going to keep the tentacle up and out of the way, but he's still held in it.
If we were close enough to the surface, the ice
do
just makes the
you have
tentacle
another?
pop
Do
to
you
the
want to like
surface,
move
but
or
with
you get two
you
actions?
in its
And then I'll just keep
like
it.
Go and do give me another body check
like
just to see how
fishing off the
efficient you
boat.
move.
Oh.
One success.
One success, you're able to get just to the mouth of the cave as well. And after that, you're up.
Okay, I see Toya Cabrera in danger, so I'm like freaking out. I'm gonna go help him.
How? What are you doing?
I'm gonna grab him with my telekinesis power.
You're going to try and pull him out of the grasp of the tentacle of telekinesis? Alright, go ahead and roll me a telekinesis check versus this thing's body. You're trying to pull him out of its grip, right? Not pull the tentacle off of it.
+2, because telekinesis is
Jocelyn,
your major power.
you're trying to pull him out of its grip, or are you trying to grab the tentacle and pull the tentacle off?
I'm trying to grab him.
And pull him out. Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead and roll a telekinesis, and it'll contest you with its body.
I think it's an even roll.
Not a great
Oh.
roll from this.
So
Dang.
3.
3 beats 2.
There you go.
You kind of, it's like wrapped around like.
Careful.
I did.
Yeah, careful with the tapping. R.I.P.
Sorry.
headphone users.
I'm
It
so
rips out of its
sorry.
tentacle, and you see this thing like kind of floating. It's like kind of like aggressively wagging at him as it kind of floats higher up with this massive column of ice on the
Good job,
tentacle.
team.
I grabbed him. Yeah.
You save, yeah. And so you're kind of like spinning around in the water as it pulls, but it pulls you into the tunnel. And not enough to get to that blue barrier, but you're very close to it.
Okay.
So that is
Hey.
going to be her turn. So you're up.
I guess I'll move into the evil lair.
Okay, you start
I-
moving into the
I-
tunnel. It
I
seems like
could-
it goes a pretty long ways ahead.
I could wait for backup. But I'll just move.
You can see
I
that
know, you
this
just
tunnel
froze
goes
the
quite a
tunnel.
ways, and you can start to see like up ahead, probably 50 feet down the tunnel. There looks like there is some like color on the walls, like paintings or etchings or something.
I can't wait to take out some evil goons.
Classic. Oh, crab people.
Could be crab people.
It's always crab people.
Or fish people.
Everything is crabs. See, that's the thing. I recognize crabs on Earth because I'm like, oh yeah, they're crabs. Like, like it's just such a ubiquitous like form. I was shocked that humans weren't crabs.
Everything is trying to
Just
evolve
like-
into a crab.
Right.
Even crabs.
Even crabs.
So you could probably like if you like sprint down this, you could probably get up to those pictures if you want to start looking at
Yeah,
them.
I'll do.
So you-
I'll do that. I
you
want
run
to kind
down.
of try and stay near the
Okay.
because this is kind of a rough kind
Yeah.
of cavern thing. I want to kind of try and stay near the walls just for cover's sake, but
Okay.
I'll
Moving down.
I'll move up.
You're able to get to where you can see that it's clearly like paintings along the side of the wall, and they're depicting like humanoid figures, but you can't, by staying kind of back a little bit in between, you can't make out exactly what they're doing. Although some of them appear to be wearing red hats. That's all you can tell.
Some of the people in these paintings.
There's
are
like a
wearing
lot of
red
paintings of
hats.
like pretty generic people, but a couple of these kind of generic people have elaborate looking red hats on.
This is gearing up to some big joke. I know it.
After your turn, it is the Krakens.
Kraken.
From Erickson, not like the villain was
Right.
like.
Haha!
Aha! Gotcha.
Hilarious.
It was a pun all along.
Clever Kraken.
Behind you, you hear as you assume this thing is snapped in half and crushed, and what's left of your submarine is
Trying to eat the
demolished.
goodies inside, only to be very disappointed. That bastard ate my candy bars.
You didn't say you grabbed your backpack of candy bars. This is important.
Dang.
Probably been all waterlogged and
Let's
salty.
see. Success.
Waterlogged.
It is going to try and with one of the, so it kind of crushes behind it, and you can see one of these like eyes, kind of like a lobster's eye. It's almost like a dish. It kind of like glances, and it seems to kind of track your movement as you're swimming, and you can see what looks like a big armored tentacle coming across towards you. And it's going to try and smack you, though it's going to have disadvantage. So go and make a defense roll. You can use brawn or agility as it tries to whack you.
Brawn is willpower?
No, brawn is one of the attributes. You have brawn and you have agility. They should be like the first two listed.
Body.
Body.
Oh, body, not brawn.
Oh,
Body.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so potty or agility.
It's fine. I get them mixed up all the time as well.
One success.
One success. So you're kind of like swimming, and this thing kind of swings almost past you, but catches you on the side, and you are going to take 1 point of damage. As like the very tip of this tentacle kind of catches you, and you feel like you're like it knocks the wind out of you. So 1 stamina point of damage from it.
Okay.
And that's its turn. You're up.
Okay. I don't know where you are. Well, wait, can you see invisibility with heat vision?
Yes.
Okay, then I do see where you are. I'm like,
As long as the thing that's invisible has heat. That's it. You can see it.
that's true.
I have heat.
I exist as a
I'm
person.
mildly drunk
He
right
am
now.
not becoming a corpse.
Heat.
How far away am I from?
If you know, you know.
Is it?
Steve.
It's Steven.
She's talking to.
What's your character's name?
Dennis Samuels.
Samuels. I'm like Stevens.
Stevens.
Human names.
His name is Stephen Heath.
Human.
Stephen Dennis. Samuel Dennis.
Bring the
Same
heat.
idea.
How far away am I from
It's about
Samuels?
heat. It's about
He's
stay hungry.
just outside of the tunnel a little bit,
Put
so
the out. Take what's
15 underwater, 10 to 15 underwater feet.
Okay. Would I be able to use 2 actions to like get to him?
Swim, grab, and pull him back. Go ahead and make the body, not brawn, body check for him. But it should be pretty easy.
Are you in the
2
cave?
success.
Okay, yeah, you're able to like kind of swim, latch onto him, and then swim forward into the tunnel. And if you want, I'll say because you know how close it was, you can get through the blue barrier with that.
Who you grabbing?
Samuels. He was getting bopped by the Kraken. So
You were getting bopped by the Kraken.
I was.
that's what you get for taking strawberries.
I got one.
It's not my fault. I got pee.
It's true.
And as you, so they swim past you, they get right up to the, and right as you like kind of get to the edge of this thing, and like again it pulls you through, and you tumble into this tunnel.
All right. We are in the tunnel. I assume that's for my actions. So.
Are you swimming after
Yeah.
that? For the sake of like you're gonna go next, and you're right there, so you can swim through, and you can see like some like movement and stuff out there, but this thing doesn't seem to be like some tentacles kind of like grab into the tunnel and kind of smack around, but it doesn't crawl back into it after you guys. You seem like it seems like it's not going to follow you through the weird blue force field thing. And you're all on the other side of the tunnel. And for the sake of combat, you're out of like initiative. You can just kind of move however you want to move.
Okay.
You survive.
Well,
the Leviathan.
I'll wave
Really
everybody
good
over to
exercise.
paintings of people in red hats, I guess.
Okay.
There's red hat painted people.
So there's a lot. There's like a kind of long wall of paintings, and it seems like it's the same on both sides. And it's somewhat of a story being told by these paintings.
Do they
I'm not
seem
gonna make you-
old?
They seem like they are very old, but very well kept still.
Oh,
What's the story?
They don't. Like, it's not old. Like
crab people.
it's old in its design, but it looks like it's either like magically maintained or freshly painted fairly recently. Following this depiction, it's kind of like a loop that goes up each side, and they're not the only thing to just look at it. I'll kind of describe it to you. It seems like a bunch of humanoid-looking people. You don't know if they're got lobster claws or anything. It's pretty rough drawings of like people, and you can see 4 of these people that are raising these weird red things above their heads, and the next is like them wearing these and everyone else bowing down to them. And then you see the depiction of a person who like clearly they've like etched like a face on it like either a mockery or like designing this person to be viewed as the villain of this story. And you can see them waving their hands and a blue shield appearing before them. And it seems like something sealed them away inside of this down here. And whoever did it, they don't like. These people in red hats running the world below.
They don't like the people in red hats?
The red people. Everyone likes the people in red hats besides whoever sealed them down.
Okay.
The fashionable.
I ain't no anthropologist.
I can't distinguish this between human culture and anything else. So it's just paintings on rocks. I don't know what you primitives do.
Paint on rocks.
Usually though it's like dicks or UFOs just to mess with people 1,000 years from now.
This to me
Dinosaurs.
looks like normal human. Like I can't distinguish this between regular human like graffiti and not. I'm just like I see these underneath the bridge all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Underneath the bridge.
Yeah. Graffiti.
keep moving.
Yeah, just keep tromping down the hallway, I think.
Okay. So you guys kind of move down this walkway, and it takes a while of traveling through a kind of winding tunnel of the jagged rock, but it eventually opens up into a like wide open underground cavern that clearly has a city built inside of it. And it's not long after walking out here that you hear footsteps approaching you. Guys prepare, and you see running up what looks like human beings. They have a kind of aquamarine colored skin, and their eyes are kind of like a purplish color. But apart from that, they look like humans. They're hairless all over their faces, and they're wearing kind of nice, brightly colored, but somewhat rustic garb, like kind of like almost like flowing gowns or togas. And they come walking up to you, and you can see the pair in the front each have spears, and there's like two in the back that each have swords on their hips.
If things go south, they're going to learn a lesson real quick about modern weaponry.
And one of them up in the kind of front middle you don't see any weapons on him at all. And they kind of like start marching up towards you. And as they approach, the one in the middle kind of like graciously waves his arms out to the side and bows. And he says, more guests, visitors to the great city. And he just kind of like nod. He doesn't seem to understand your gesture either. He just kind of like nods, and he gives a is this the customary greeting? Good.
Good. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And he
can't do any harm.
And he walks up and he says, "Welcome to the great city of Atlantis."
Hey! Called it.
Shall the record say?
Yeah.
He wrote it before I said it.
He wrote it before.
Did we just find Atlantis? Yeah. That's true. Oh wait. I thought Atlantis was in Georgia.
While he writes,
right.
So he says, "Welcome to the city. Please, be our esteemed guests. We have so few people come down here since the treacherous one locked us away." And he kind of looks off very menacingly, and then like goes back to his like "Come, join us, yes."
You guys got Scotch whiskey?
I don't know what that is. Do you mean alcohol?
Okay, I do.
We have alcohol, yes.
Great.
Do you have glucose? I mean
sugars?
Yeah.
Yes, we have sugars. Come, please. Do you hand this to him?
Yeah.
Can you read my... he looks at it, and he hands it back to you, and he goes, "Very good, yes. Come along."
I don't follow him.
I assume these are just as squishy as normal people, so I am not afraid.
And you start moving into the city.
I'm going to slowly walk behind the big guy just in case.
There you go.
I'm still very scared.
Yeah.
And you can see moving into this underwater ocean, like everyone around you seems like they kind of notice you and they like wave from outside of windows, but they are all armed. Almost every single one of them has a weapon. They don't seem to. They're doing nothing menacing with them. They're just like, "Oh, hello, good to see you." Like rest their hand on a belt that has like a sword on it and they have like a shield on it.
I've heard about
see you. Throws duster on the sword belt.
They don't seem to have any firearms.
I've heard of this. It's the Second Amendment. Right, Second Amendment. That.
You don't know if they have a Bill of Rights down here, but if they did, there's one that says you can carry a lot of fucking weapons.
Tell me, friend, what's your name?
Why, I am Kavath.
Well, Kavath, can you explain to me why everybody here's on edge?
No one's on edge. Everyone's excited. We get so few guests.
Yes, but everybody's got guns.
No.
Not weapons. They don't have guns.
Weapons. Okay, whatever.
Well, you must protect yourself. You must always be ready for anything.
Before you.
Like this.
If you'd like, you could roll a willpower to see if you can discern if he's telling the truth.
Let's see.
Oh?
You've got good willpower.
2 successes.
2 successes?
I have...
You're 4.
I have 4.
1.
No, it's a 3.
Yeah, you had 3. No,
I-
I had 1. You had
The two of you, with the ones, you're like,
seems about more.
he's like kind of a flamboyant and a little over the top, but he seems fine. You're like, something might be a little off about this guy, but he seems overall honest. You, however, like, this guy is lying through his teeth. And he's like, haha, we just have them for self-defense. Haha, come
And
on.
I do
I
not
don't-
hide the fact that I
I-
know this. I'm just gonna like Tina it and be like,
I
for
don't
the second I figure it out.
I don't expect that they just have them for self-defense because they're sealed behind a magical blue barrier underground. What are they defending themselves from? Each other?
Who
This
knows
is
what'll come
this
to
is
that?
Atlantis, man. That's a bad town. You do not want to be stuck there after dark.
I don't know. I had the same questions about this human concept of Second Amendment rights. Why have all these guns if there's no giant big aliens to shoot? Well, I guess there are some giant big aliens.
Well, there's one giant big alien.
Right. But I mean, for a long time there weren't. That's what I'm getting at.
What?
Well, very well. Come with me. We will prepare the finest quarters for you with the finest foods. And drink.
Andrew?
Come along, please. Our esteemed guests. The elders will want to meet you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, sir.
Of course.
What? Sorry, what was the name again?
Kaveth?
Kavat.
I didn't make it up.
On the spot.
I'm gonna write it
I
down.
really thought you had it written down.
That's
because
why
of
when
how
I was
fluid it
thinking
was.
of a name, I looked at my screen. It's called Being a Game Master and Lying.
Oh,
You
Mr. Kavat. Who? What's the deal? What? You said something about a treacherous one? I don't know. My friend here, he's asking me, but
You would like
he's
me to
passing
regale
on.
you with the tale of the treacherous one?
I would.
Well, let us get you to your quarters, get you comfortable. I will have our finest orator tell you the great story of the fall of the elders due to the treacherous one.
And I really appreciate your hospitality, Kavat.
Of course, it is what we Atlanteans were known for, before the treacherous one.
Right.
This guy's really chewing the scenery.
Just want
He's
to.
still mad.
We're looking some from friends.
The others
Oh, I like-
of
yeah,
your
yeah,
people
yeah.
who came recently, yes.
Recently.
We saw them. There were 4, well 5. It seemed like one didn't get along with the other 4, however. Well, of course they're here.
Yeah.
Again, we offered them the hospitality we offer you. Come to the palace. We will definitely allow you to meet them. They're meeting with our elders right now.
Yeah, all right.
Mission accomplished.
You had me at alcohol.
5. Yes, there were 5.
His hand breaks.
So you follow him to the...
Yes.
That's fine.
You
I
raise up
fully
your hand
trust
5.
Kavat.
Come! He walks you down to the streets again. Everyone's like, oh, hello. Yeah, very, very, very gracious, very welcoming. And he brings you back to like a palatial tower in the center of the town. And he walks you past some even more heavily armed guards and walks you to a very fine room, very somewhat like Arabic, like pillow lounge sort of a feel to it. Very comfortable, very spacious. And he says, we will have servants bring you refreshments shortly. I will see if I can track down a fine orator to tell you the story of the treacherous one. And we will ask after your friends, of course. He bows very deeply and walks away. If you need anything, simply ask for Kavet. I will be back.